All right, we're wanted for a lot of real bad behavior, too. It's not the best. Let's get me some stamina back. Have some of this here. Gin. Yeah, there you go. Drink the whole bottle, Arthur. Delicious.
Misunderstood me earlier. I ain't trying to rob you. You know me better than that.
What are you trying to do, Micah?
Save you. Save everybody. You know me. I'll go back to Blackwater and get the money. Meet you all someplace and we'll be home free. That's it. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying. The way I see it, we gotta try.
I'll think about it.
Thank you. Here, I'll do whatever you say. Always.
Hello, Arthur.
Well, that was an interesting
What
exchange.
are you trying to pull here? Right, you are. Don't you tell him a thing about that money. I ain't a fool, Arthur. I know. I just don't trust him.
Arthur!
Stay away from me.
But I got a tip.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of.
Oh, it's a goodie, I'm telling you.
It always is with you. Then we end up heading in a burning barn getting shot at.
You're a sad man, Arthur Morgan. A sad man indeed.
Well, what do you want, Uncle?
Okay, well, let's talk more later.
All right, then.
Let's see if we can figure out a little bit more what's going on with Micah here. Okay, play 5-finger fillet with Micah. Seems like a good start. Hello, horse.
Micah?
Sit down, my dearest friend, and show me just what you got.
Now forgive me if I slip and stab you in the face.
Alright, hopefully this helps.
You know, I think the last time I played this was with Skinny and those boys and Strawberry. Before, well, things all went a little crazy.
A little crazy?
A feller stupid enough to disrespect me during a knife game deserves what he gets. I have things to do, you know.
Oh, wow. I have to do this with keys?
Ooh.
Ooh. Wait, what? Let's try it. 10 cents. Come on, Micah.
Now the fun part. Oh, someone's gonna bleed, all right.
Ugh! God, this game makes me so uncomfortable. Oh! It's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch.
Let me see.
Oh, God. All right, Arthur. Oh, son of a bitch. Ooh, this is a good run for him. Oh! Dude, oh. I would never play this. I would never play this. Damn, that was good. Eat shit, Micah.
You ain't much good at this.
That's good enough for me.
Thank you.
See you around.
Nah, I ain't into it. I ain't into it. Not even a little bit. What up, fellas?
Why don't you take the weight off, English?
Quite something once, Miss Grimshaw.
Thank you.
Yes, a long time ago. We
Hey, Art.
all know flowers wither. Ain't no shame in it.
Hey, Micah, maybe don't be a dick.
Sadie.
So what? You're a deputy now?
So Micah comes back after being gone and just antagonizes everybody. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
I've lost my mind, Mr. Morgan. Lost it entirely.
Nice to see you too, Reverend.
I've lost it. I used to be an intellectual. Now I'm just a fool.
Well, I've always been happy as a fool.
You all just laugh at me. I know you do.
Okay, I'll catch you later then.
I don't care.
Projection is when you have a certain perception or idea about yourself, and then you assume that the other people around you think and perceive the same thing. So when the Reverend is talking about how I used to be an intellectual and now I'm a fool, he's talking about his own perception of himself. When the Reverend says, I know you all laugh at me, and he gets kind of aggressive and defensive, it's because he's projecting that foolishness and is assuming that that's how we see him. And what it does, and why it's frustrating to deal with projection from folks, is because it takes away your autonomy to develop your own perception of what's going on for somebody. I very much see the Reverend as a man who is struggling. I don't see him as a fool. But because he projects his own internal self-bias onto me, he doesn't give me an opportunity to interact with him that way. Instead, he acts in such a way where I have to sort of interact with him as if he's a fool, or I have to just kind of take it at face value, and you don't want to do that. This is why projection is such a powerful concept, because it's based around this very self-centered idea that everybody else must see what we do. And the fact of the matter is, nobody pays attention to you even remotely as much as you do to yourself. So the Reverend is shooting himself in the foot with these projections. And we would all do well to make sure that we're on top of our projections and ensuring that we're giving people the autonomy to react to us as they perceive us, as opposed to how we assume they perceive us.
You gotta join me here.
John.
Hey, what's going on over here?
You want to have a drink?
Oh, no thank you, sir.
Have a goddamn drink!
Okay. I can't right now. Sir, I gotta go help with the horses. Sorry. Excuse me.
With the horses? Wait a minute, come on back here! Well, come on back here, you hear? Shit!
Oh, is Bill starting to get along with Kieran?
Bill?
Hello?
How would you respond to him in that moment? Is there an effective way to counter his projection? Boundaries. I probably wouldn't respond to him. I'd probably just let him walk away, kind of like Arthur did. It's really hard to counter projections because people tend to get very defensive. So, I mean, you could say something like, you know, I don't see you that way. And here's how I do see you. But if he doesn't respond well to that, you're better off just setting boundaries and walking away. It was oddly freeing for me once I realized no one was actually paying attention to me as much as I was worrying they were. Yeah, it's very freeing for a lot of people. Tree Hugger, good to see you, buddy.
It's a sin, Mr. Escuela. So is judging others, my little friend. Me dad used to say, the bigger the box, the smaller the gift, if you know what I mean.
Your dad?
Yeah, me dad.
From the sound of things, he was quite something.
Yeah, quite something.
My father, he always say to me, if someone disrespects you, fillet them with a knife. If you know what I mean.
I wasn't disrespecting. I was just looking after your mortal soul, honest.
Get out of here.
Hey, Arthur. Well, we know you ain't a vain man.
We know you ain't a wise one. Now get out of here. Do something useful.
Ooh, coming to bat for Javier there. All right, Micah, you here to antagonize Javier now? Watching your ass. I love these camp interactions. They're absolutely incredible. I feel like you could just sit here the entire time and you just learn so much about people. Now, I will say that people wander a lot, though. It's been hard to see who gets along with who.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes?
can I ask you a favor, if it's convenient, I mean?
Sure.
If you're out on your adventures and you see any herbs for seasoning, would you mind grabbing them for me?
Seasoning?
Yes. Don't tell Mr. Pearson.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
So a seemingly benign exchange between us and Miss Grimshaw, I think, sheds a lot of light on the subordinates of women in the group. Because even though Grimshaw has very much come off as somebody who's in like a leadership position, and as a lady who carries power in the group, when she approaches Arthur, she still says, "Can I ask you to do a favor when it's convenient?" She's not dishing out an order. And it might be that it's just kind of a meaningless task. It's not super important, but you can see power structure in how people approach each other and in what it is that they say and how they say it. And Miss Grimshaw, when she approaches men, isn't quite as steadfast as she is when she approaches women. So she's a leader amongst the women, and she runs a tight ship with them. But she takes a lot of shit from the men. Just how with Micah. Micah's literally saying some really nasty shit to her about like, oh, bet you were hot back in the day. And she just takes it and walks away. So it's an example through just a benign conversation of how you can get a read on group dynamics. And if you're a person like Kieran, for example, who's new to the group, you ought to be paying attention to that stuff just so you can get kind of a lay of the land.
What, Javier?
Reverend?
You're free to sit, but I'm in a state.
Yeah, Reverend's still struggling. All right, let's go talk to Lenny. Because Lenny's definitely got something for us. Could it also be reflective of Arthur's role as an implicit leader? It can. It absolutely can, and I don't want to over gender load it, but I would also say that you look for dynamics as nested in patterns. You don't look for dynamics as nested in a nodal instance of communication. So we have seen multiple times Miss Grimshaw is very forward and like strong, so to speak, relative to the women when she engages with them. But we have seen multiple instances where it comes to engaging with men where she takes a bit of a one down position, I think because she has to. So yes, Arthur is a leader of the group for sure. But if we were going to talk about kind of I don't know, like if we were going to talk about Miss Grimshaw as being a leader that's on the same level of equivalence as, say, somebody like Arthur, because Dutch is obviously the lead guy, then we would expect that she would be a little bit less like timid in how she approaches Arthur. We would expect that she would stand up for herself when Micah says something stupid like that, but she doesn't. So I'm looking at these dynamics through patterns, not through one instance. Even though one instance can give us a window into what's going on, we also want to deduce that from some of the things that we've seen over time.
Hello. I'm very into my crafting at the moment, Mr. Morgan. I'm very happy to make you something if you bring me the right materials.
Oh, neat. So we can, like, actually upgrade. Ooh. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
All right, we're low on ammo. All right, Lenny.
Arthur,
Yes, kid.
you got a lot on?
Just hunting for all this hillbilly gold that Dutch and Hosea seem to think is out there just waiting to be stolen. Why?
I got something. Could be good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was in Rhodes talking to some of the colored folk. They said there's a gang of fools holed up in the swamps east of here who think their war ain't never ended.
The Civil War?
Yeah, apparently it's still raging in these fools' minds 30 years later.
Okay.
That ain't my point. These ignorant fools are weapon dealers. And in their dealings sometimes sit on a decent pile of cash. Yeah, been selling weapons to Cuba and South America for years. Anyway, the old boy I was talking to reckoned there might be a bunch of cash just sitting around. And failing that, maybe a nice stash of weapons.
It's just a bunch of crazies, Gardner?
Exactly.
Wow. Worth taking a look at least, isn't it?
That was my thinking. Said it was at some place called Shady Belle, deep in the woods.
Okay.
All right. All right, Lenny.
I was hoping you'd be in. If it's how they told it, it's gonna be something all right.
We'll see.
I like it. It's resourceful, Lenny. Glad you didn't ask me to go get trashed. Because I'd have said yes. It was fun last time. Dude, his horse... Or is he, no, he's next to my horse. My horse is a biggin'. Let's go, Gen 8.
Come on, it's this way.
You beautiful steed.
Cha.
People tend to be more lenient to putting up with behavior that mirrors how their attachment figure once treated them. Grimshaw's loved one that passed with any possibility, for example. That depends, Shelbs. Depends on your experience with the attachment figure. We would look at that less from an attachment lens, though, and more from like an intrapsychic perspective of like, I gotta try to think of how to explain this. Like, if a person's mannerisms and behaviors manifest themselves similarly to the way in which we have internalized the object of a person from a formative or meaningful relationship, we are likely to respond to that person based in part by how they are presenting, but also in part through our projections relative to that internalized object. So if, let's say, I had a father who was very cold and stoic, but I internalized that cold stoicism as good and ideal. But me, relative to my father, I was more emotionally available and sensitive, so to speak, and that was split as being bad relative to the stoicism that is seen as ideal in my father. Well, when I get approached by somebody who is stoic and reminds me in some ways of my father, my interactions with that person are likely to be influenced by how I learned to navigate my relationship with my father, and is going to be based on the projections that I have of, I'm going to be perceived as overly sensitive here relative to this stoic person. So I'm going to assume that that person sees me that way, and I'm going to compensate in the ways that I have either learned to do or am deciding to do, and perhaps I become stoic, or perhaps I become defensive, or maybe I shut down, or maybe I walk away. Like, that's really how these things work when we're talking about internalized objects and people who show up similarly to them. But it becomes a lot more about our projections. Filtering that through an attachment perspective is a little bit harder to do. I hope that answers the question. And so you can get a lot of information from folks, not just by like how they act in general, but also what changes in them relative to how other people show up. Like, what changes in Arthur when he speaks to somebody like Dutch versus when he talks to somebody like Micah versus when he talks to somebody like Lenny. You learn a little bit about Arthur's past and the way that he interacts with them. If he has a long-standing relationship with them, he's likely to have patterns in how he responds to them. And that's going to be more about their relationship. But when you have somebody that's relatively new in a certain position or role that comes to you, that becomes more about your projections and learned experience than it does that person themselves, which is why you can learn a lot from people based on kind of their early interactions with people that they don't know.
I might have met these crazies before.
You been drinking again?
No. Well, yes, but no, that's not how I might have met them. I think some of them harangued me and Sadie when we were coming back with supplies.
Mrs. Adler?
Yeah. And Mrs. Adler did just fine. More than fine, actually. She's terrifying. But I got a notion these fellers is one and the same.
Who's he say that to, and who does he not say that to? So Arthur is willing to acknowledge to Lenny that back when Sadie and he got attacked by Lemoyne Raiders, Sadie held her own in a way that she is like incredible and scary and terrifying. Right? She knows how to do this. He is so forthcoming with that information to Lenny, but wouldn't give it to Sadie. And I think a lot of us do this. And in part, I think it could be because Arthur maybe doesn't even know quite how to give credit to Sadie as a woman for what she did, because he doesn't really know what that means to have a woman be competent or perhaps even more competent than him. He doesn't know what that means for the power dynamic of the group. But him sharing that with Lenny, it's almost as if he shares that as, I'm impressed. That's also something for us to be sort of threatened by. And I'm not trying to like overly read into this and do too much gender splitting here, but I find it very interesting that Arthur is super forthcoming with Sadie's competence when he's talking to Lenny, but not when he's talking to her directly. And so I'll be interested to see if that's a pattern that continues as we keep going here.
Yeah, we won't find no shortage of angry Peckerwood idiots in the state of Lemoyne. That's for sure.
Is it really that different in this state? We haven't come far.
It seems like it is.
These boys got a manner about them, but I haven't necessarily noticed.
All respect, Mr. Morgan. You wouldn't notice. Might call you a nigger lover. They see us riding like this. But most of it is a glance or a word. And after that, a visit in the night.
Out west, it's...
Out west is out west. And you're all who you are, right? Decent folks. But some places down here, they judge differently.
Well, now, guess it can't be so easy for you, Lenny. Sorry you're caught up in this.
Well, I guess their gold's still shining, and their guns still shoot.
Boy, there's a lot of good stuff already at the outset of this stream, so I'm pausing a lot. Hope you're fine with that. I love this. I love that Lenny's like, you don't have to notice, because he's right. Arthur can walk into roads with little issue. The only issue that the Lemoyne Raiders have with him is if they're worried that he was in the Union. But Arthur is not generally in danger even remotely to the same way that Lenny is, by being a black man in the South post-Civil War. And Lenny even shares with us that, like, this stuff comes out covertly. Like, yes, there's overt racism, but overt racism is a little bit easier to dodge sometimes because you can see it and you're like, yep, stay away. The covert racism is in some ways scarier. It comes out in these little ways. It's a glance that you get from people. It's a certain nod. It's certain things that they say to other folks when you pass by. It's when they clutch their bags when you walk past them. Things like that. Little mini microaggressions. Arthur ain't going to notice that stuff because that stuff's never directed toward him and he's never had to learn to look out for it in order to survive. Lenny, on the other hand, has to be hyper-vigilant constantly. And this is why folks in marginalized groups that are often in danger with dominant groups, particularly in this case black folks in the South, have to be hypervigilant constantly, and that is exhausting. You are going to be a little bit more wound up tight because you have to be. That is how you survive. And then the worst part is that when people in the dominant group then look at that stuff, and instead of acknowledging their racism, whether overt, covert, or otherwise, and saying, yeah, that would make sense why a person like Lenny is wound up tight, because we are dangerous to him, they instead say, geez, they won't even lighten up. All right? They make those awful comments and generalizations and take the survival strategies of an entire group of people and use them to further create space between and marginalize in their minds. It's why you are in such a helpless position oftentimes as like Lenny being a black man in the South like that. Or I mean even in general, black people in the North didn't have it any better really. That like everybody thinks racism is done because the Civil War got won by the Union and because slavery's over, and it's not. So Lenny has to be vigilant, and he tells Arthur, you don't have to figure this shit out. You don't have to worry about this. Of course you don't. You're not in danger constantly like I am. And I can appreciate that Arthur's willing to empathize with a little bit of that and say, hey, man, that sucks. Right? But Arthur would do well to look out for these cues so that he can look out for Lenny as well. Not that he needs to be a white savior, but just so that he knows what's going on, because white people in this instance don't have to think about these things. They're not conditioned to do it. It's not a survival thing.
So I'm game for robbing any and every one of these bastards for all they got.
Okay, then.
Plus, it beats being lynched back in Blackwater with all of you by my side.
I guess it does.
Hey, as Lenny and I make this ride, I just want to say thank you all for being here tonight. I appreciate you spending some time with me if you're here live. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for taking the time to watch through these VODs. I hope you're enjoying them immensely. If you are watching the VOD, please feel free to leave a comment. I love reading them. Just please don't spoil stuff for me. But also make sure you follow me on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And make sure you like the stream. It makes a big difference. Hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you subscribe, consider hitting the notification button so that you know when I go live. It's set to all.
Feels like we're close. It's a rundown old plantation house down in the bayou somewhere.
Let's take it slow. Be cautious. If, like you say, these crazies are sitting on weapons, We're gonna wanna strategize a little before getting shot at.
Of course. They said find the old battlefield and keep on going.
Yeah, I've been here before. I can see the wrecked old Civil War weaponry. Where are the wrecked old Civil War holdouts?
You see that church up ahead? They're supposed to use it as an outpost. Heard they got men going between here and the big house all day.
Okay.
Probably good that we're doing this at night.
Look at this field. Imagine getting caught up in a fight like this.
Yeah, I don't care to.
We've been in some pretty nasty standoffs, though, Lenny.
Hold those reins in. Let's just take a look around the place.
I hear you.
Comments remind me of code switching. Yeah. For those who don't know what code switching is, T-Sipper, I appreciate you sharing that. Code switching is when people of marginalized groups have to sort of change the way that they present themselves relative to a context, particularly when they're surrounded by people of the dominant group. Because to be different and to show the traits that are associated with that group's marginalization is in some ways dangerous to do. And so you will see, for example, like folks of color will work to speak more white when they're in white contexts. You will see people who might be gay who tend to skew towards like flamboyance will rein it in when they're around straight folks, right? Where you're not able to fully access the authenticity of your identity, because if you do that, you get othered and microaggressed and you may be in danger in certain instances. And so people learn what's called code switching, which is where when you're surrounded by folks of the dominant group, you have to be a certain way to survive that space. And then if you are away from the dominant group, you can sort of switch back to authenticity. But that gets really tiring. And this is something that a lot of white folks don't really ever have to worry about. Like if you tick all the privilege boxes, you generally can show up authentically in any given context and you're going to be fine. But that is not the case for people in marginalized groups. And so Lenny may actually have to do that. Lenny very well may be code switching and interacting with Arthur as a white man. Whereas if we saw Lenny amongst all black folks, right? He says, I've been talking to the black folks in Rhodes. We may see him differently in that context. And because white people don't really understand the need for code switching among folks of colors, they'll sort of like personalize that or think it's weird, right? Or they'll try to like do their own backwards code switch into the marginalized group, and that is not a good idea either. So Lenny around black folks being different than Lenny around white folks isn't something that we necessarily have to personalize. It's something that Arthur has to understand. He needs to do that. He has to show up a certain way in this group because he's surrounded by really all white folks except for Charles and Tilly, right? There is the dynamics socially are paralleled in the Vanderland gang. So anyway, I appreciate you sharing that. T.
It doesn't look like anyone's here.
We don't know that for sure.
I call that my straight sona.
Nosy.
What a great term.
Hear that? Someone's on the track.
Eat. All right.
Look there, a wagon.
Let's see where he's going. You're on me now.
Right behind you.
Let's keep our distance. Just two fellers out on the road.
Those crates in the back, they look like explosives to you?
Could be. Worth a follow, at least.
Yep, I believe that, Doris.
I think I see something. End of the avenue, between the trees.
Might be it. Might be. Keep it steady.
Oh, this is ominous.
Hey, big plantation house. Must be Shady Belle. I reckon we can leave our mounts up there, off the trail.
Good enough to me.
Ooh, boy.
Come on. We can get a view on them from that wall up there. Bring your sighted rifle, okay? I'll take the other side. You get in cover there.
Ooh, baby. I'm in the position.
You see anything?
Yes. Yes. They're here, all right. And they're armed. Almost a militia.
Hey, you might want to look over to the right. Look over to the left.
You got men covering the house. You got men everywhere. Off near the porch. I know dynamite crates when I see them.
We got something, right?
Oh, we got something. We can hit them head on, fight them honest. Or you could go down there acting friendly.
Friendly? With these folks?
Just draw them into one spot, then I'll start shooting.
Well, that might be the dumbest idea I've ever heard. But hey, I'm always up for a performance.
No! I'm not putting Lenny... No! Shoot the dynamite.
I'm gonna hit him head on. You save your play acting for Jose.
I'm not putting him at risk.
Fine by me.
I'm not putting Lenny at risk there. This is where again, you have to understand that Lenny is black. If Lenny walks up to a southern plantation run by folks who are in the Confederacy, who are full on still denying the results of the war, Lenny could very well be shot on sight. I'm not even kidding. Using Lenny as bait there is ridiculous. If we were going to use anybody as bait, it would be me. I could walk up to that home and I could probably put something on and have Lenny do the shooting. But for the love of God, is that a stupid idea to put Lenny out there like that? Like, I really think that's Arthur's just ignorance talking there. That's Arthur not thinking for a second. Gee, yeah, let's send a black man up to this plantation of fully armed folks that are racist as shit. That's a good idea. He's thinking about it from his own perspective of well, I could do that, so Lenny could do that. And that's just not how it works. Okay? So this is the kind of stuff where I'm so glad that Lenny's you're a fucking idiot for suggesting that. Are you kidding me? But then Lenny still says, but I'm always up for a performance, right? Arthur having the power that he does still influences Lenny in that way. And it's really kind of scary that that's the case. So Arthur, this is why people in dominant groups have to be mindful of the power that they have, even with people that trust them and that they have a deeper relationship with in marginalized groups. So this moment is just so indicative of the way that all of this stuff plays out in these little moments. Such a stupid idea. We're shooting the crates. Never in a million years would I even make Lenny turn his head past the wall. It really is, DL. It really is. Absolutely stupid.
As soon as you shoot, I'll go.
All right, here we go. So let's do it honest. Shoot the dynamite.
Prepare for your guns and your money. Give 'em up.
Oh, there it goes.
Man, there's such a delay on this. Oh my God, Lenny, what are you doing?
Shit. Down.
guys are still wearing their war clothes. Jeez.
Quick! Any men in the area would have heard that. They might be on the way. Now let's grab something and get out.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm with you, Lenny.
These fellas dealing arms. There might be guns in these wagons. You got anything?
Not yet.
We were loud, that's for sure.
We're pushing it, Morgan.
I know, but I still ain't found nothing.
This one looks good. Search it.
All right, good job, Lenny.
Search him.
Here. Come on. This is full of new rifles.
We can sell those, right?
We sure can. We'll check the rest later. Now, come on. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Get this back to camp. Yep.
Well done, Lenny. Arthur, you better give the man credit for this. Don't you dare take the credit. Because here's the other thing that might happen, and I swear to God, Arthur better not do this. He hasn't done it to this point, but Arthur better not take credit for this. One of the things that Lenny has to worry about, too, is somebody like Arthur taking credit for something that he came up with. Really not fair, and this is something that happens a lot, where, again, people of dominant groups ride on the backs of people in non-dominant groups and take credit for the stuff that they do and the hard work that they have and the ideas that they have. It's really shitty because institutionally, you can do that. Nobody holds you accountable to it. Terrible. So Arthur better not take credit for this shit. He better give Lenny all the credit.
We need to get these back. Come on. G up. Fall in. Let's see how fast they run.
Right. Coming our way. Keep it together.
Hey, stop! What's a black feller doing coming out of Shady Belle? In one of our wagons?
Steady now.
Now, fellas.
What you fellers doing, huh?
We was doing some business with your brothers back there.
You don't look like any kind of folk we deal with.
Our business was conducted to the satisfaction of all parties. Until now, that is.
Nope. No. Something don't feel right about this. Not him and not you neither, Yankee. Get these lines... Bastard! Ah! Ah!
Leonard.
I'm looking, all right? I can't see anyone chasing us.
I should think we're out of the woods then, so to speak.
Boy, oh boy.
You did good.
We did it.
Well, let's get to camp before saying anything like that.
I know Sean's been bringing in quite a lot lately, and I wanted to... It's good to have something to show like this.
Sean's a loudmouth bragger. Don't worry about what Sean does.
I think you could go a little faster there. Hey, I like him, you know?
Well, so do I. Against my better judgment. Just, you worry about you. He wasn't on Leviticus Cornwall's train with me. We had to dig him out of Blackwater.
But
Nothing. Me and Dutch, and everyone who counts. We know what you do for this gang. We notice. Keep it up. You're gonna start seeing things change for you.
okay then. Okay. Thank you, Arthur.
Everyone that matters. Everyone that matters. That's a huge line, chat. Right? Not everybody that's with us matters. That kind of division in the group is felt, though not explicitly stated.
Hey.
And Arthur sharing that shows that he is correct, that Lenny is being seen as somebody who is starting to matter, but he's also suggesting that Lenny doesn't matter yet. A lot buried in that language there, but we're seeing that split that we've been talking about ever since like part 3, right? People who have been here for a long time, who are ideological members of the group, and people who have just kind of been picked up along the way because they were helpless and needed some assistance. We don't look at them all the same. There are certain people in the group that matter. You know, it's so easy to just listen to that and just kind of gloss over it and be like, yeah, okay, like whatever. But that's a big indication of Arthur's understanding of the group dynamic. It's a huge understanding of it. And him being so overt about that with Lenny shows Lenny is starting to gain some power in the group. Arthur is starting to trust him. Arthur's looking at somebody who matters. But that's the thing, is like Arthur and the people that matter get to decide who else matters. And that feels gross. Right? You got to impress me. You got to go above and beyond. Lenny has to be perfect. Whereas Micah can completely fuck up, be stuck in Blackwater, get messed up in Strawberry, and we're still going to let him in. But you got to work your ass off, and then maybe we'll let you in. It's so hard to break that barrier because the people in power have to decide that you're worth bringing into power. And most of the time, they're not going to do that.
The camp's in these trees up here.
Let's get there.
So pretty, man. Oh.
Arthur, Lenny, coming back.
We'll find out through how he interacts with them, Doris.
These are fine rifles.
Right?
I'm gonna keep one, just for me. Hey, I always enjoy riding with you, kid. You know how to fight.
Hey, you too. Anytime, Arthur.
Bolt-action rifle. Love that. All right. Hey, I'll be right back, chat. I'm going to go tuck my wife into bed, and then we'll keep rolling. I would encourage you to use this as an opportunity to like the stream if you haven't already. Follow me on all the socials that are down in the description. And I'll be right back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all being here. If you're watching the VOD, I appreciate you watching the VOD. Be right back. Oh, shit. We got bounty hunters coming toward us. Scouting the area out. Hosea, we can't do. Let's go. Let's take a look at some of these. Oh, no. That's not what I want. Bill's got something for us. There we go. Okay. That's how we got to do it. Okay. Because I really liked meeting with Black Belle. She was lovely. Alright, any of them nearby? Ooh, there's a guy over in Rhodes. Alright, let's go up here. Let's go get Emmett Granger. Go learn a little bit about Emmett.
Let's go, girl.
Look at that horse. Whose big ass horse is that?
Yep.
No mind. Alright, we're good. We're just gonna kind of go along the water here, stay off the trail maybe. Oh, Jenny, come on. There we go. What's going on over here?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell are you doing here?
I ain't here to cause trouble.
Get the hell away from here.
Just minding my own business.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you for asserting a boundary with me, sir. Jesus. Howdy, folks.
Easy, whoa. Yeah.
I think there's reason for that guy to get angry, honestly. Like, people don't have a lot of resources here. You spend a lot of energy trying to get as much resources as you can around here so you can survive. Somebody running up on your camp in this world, think of how many times we've had people run up on us and give us shit. I think you have to skew towards being careful. I think it makes sense why people are angry and defensive all the time. That's how you survive in this world. I don't think you survive by just inviting everybody in. There's too many bad folks that are willing to take advantage of that shit.
All right, girl.
There we go. Nice.
Yep. Easy, easy.
All right.
Yeah.
Those campers always have that final snarky comment that makes you want to go back and deal with them. I know, right? Like, you piece of shit idiot. It's like, what'd you say to me? I mean, that got me in trouble a couple streams ago.
Help me! Help me! I've been kidnapped! He's trying to rob our bounty!
Fellas! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You low down son of a bitch! Better shouldn't mess with us. I'm gonna shit down your You're only making this worse on yourself. You're a damn savage!
Holy crap, that was crazy. That was crazy!
Will you free me, please?
No, 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 no. Put your gun away, Arthur.
Did I interrupt a party?
Oh, thank God. I thought you were as bad as those damn bounty hunters.
Yeah, but what did you do? Why were bounty hunters after you, sir?
Untie me, please!
Sir, I'm gonna need some information.
Where are you carrying me to?
I don't really know what to do here. I don't know that I need this liability. These guys started shooting at me. I didn't really have any choice.
What are you doing?
I'm cutting
Don't
you
you
free.
worry about me, all right?
Go on.
Jesus! Anyone! Help!
$0.69. Nice. All right. Well, that was interesting. Not much gonna come out of that, I reckon. We lose the snake again? Why does the snake keep falling off my horse? Alright, whatever. I ain't even gonna worry about it anymore.
Easy now.
Alrighty. What do we got here? Howdy do, sir.
You're in trouble, all right.
Put the gun away, Arthur. Nice and easy here. How do you do, sir?
Look at this. Hey, you.
What do you want?
Howdy. You Granger?
That's my name. And my occupation, too, if you hadn't noticed.
Weren't always like that, though, were you? Used to be a quick draw guy. You knew Jim Boy Calloway?
Used to be's correct. Them days are long over. And who might you be?
Don't matter. I need you to tell me about Jim Boy. Just a quote for a book.
A book about Jim Boy? Well, shit. I can't talk to you now. Look at me. I'm knee-deep in hog crap.
Well, don't mind me. We can talk while you work.
I ain't talking and shoveling. Besides, a young man like you could get it done in half the time.
I don't know about that.
What's to know? You interested in the old days? You shoveled this shit, I tell you some stories. You keep your hands clean, I don't give you squat.
Hey, I can get down with that.
Damn it. These better be some stories.
Oh,
It's a good bargain.
Pick up the fork and get to work. Or get out of here and stop wasting my time.
Farmhand
I
Arthur.
do this for you, but I don't like it.
Jim Boy weren't nothing, you know. Me? I killed men, women, and children, too. Animals. I even killed rocks. And I killed them good. I shot folks, stabbed folks, skinned folks. I scalped some. Boy, they scream when you scalp them.
Hey, let me work.
Don't know what got into these hogs, but I know what's coming out of them. I bash folks, butchered folks. I burn folks alive. Buried folks alive. One time,
I get it, all right? You're mean. What about Calloway?
Now it's clean enough to eat off.
I guess I'm done.
Get that barrel to the shit pile, and I suppose you is.
All right.
No shortage of shit round here. Comes from hungry hogs and no hands.
Hell, that stinks. Okay, I cleaned up your mess. Go on. Tell me about Calloway.
I said I'd tell you stories. I didn't say they'd be about him.
Don't trifle with me, old man. You knew him. Just give me something, anything.
You making a book, you should make it about me.
They're just words, is all. Give me something to say and I'll leave you alone. You owe me that.
Hey, you be careful. Killer like me, it don't take much to end up on the end of my knife. One
Hey,
time...
you know what? I don't think you were anything at all. Just a crazy old man.
I ain't a killer? Well, you'd already be hog feed. I hadn't made a deal with the Federals, got this farm.
This is your last chance, Mr. Granger. Give me a quote for the book.
Hey, you don't hit no man of peace, no government witness.
Calloway said you was full of piss, but he didn't tell me the half of it.
I'm itching to drop you, girlie. Only you ain't worth my time. I got too much to lose.
Too much to lose? Well, seeing as I cleaned up this pigsty, I figure I'm in my rights to wreck it. Let's see.
You don't want to do that? You walk away right now.
Well. All I wanted was a quote.
You don't know who you're trifling with. That's my stick!
All right, so this guy's all bravado, and we're gonna dish it right back and make him put his money where his mouth is, I guess. Let's blow up the shit pile.
Right now.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this.
There you go.
Oh no, God.
No, you didn't know.
Oh no! Oh!
Took yourself a regular shit shower, Mr. Granger. Boy, that's real nasty.
You earned yourself a killing, and I'm going to enjoy it now. Draw. It's going to be the last thing you do.
Okie dokie. That was, man, these poor pigs now don't have anybody to take care of them. Reckon we take his gun? It'll be, it's gonna be on my upcoming EP. Ugh, come on. Drop double action revolver for Granger's revolver. Alright, we'll take it. See if we got anything else good around here. Got some corn. Got this big pig right here. Got some chickens. Boy. Anything I can cook while I'm here? Nice. Let's go ahead and eat one. We'll cook another one. Oh, I don't have another one. All right. Pretty fish. It is a nice little farm. I wonder if that guy was pissed off because I guess the guy he was with took all the credit for the stuff that he did. I mean, that's really the only read I have on that. It doesn't really feel like we got enough info from him. I am probably going to kill these chickens and make food with them. I don't really see why we shouldn't. Otherwise, they're just going to have to go free, so... We got a good photo, though. There's something so relaxing about. I don't know how Rockstar managed to make these little benign tasks of like just cooking stuff, like how they managed to make it so engaging to do. Like I'm literally just putting meat on a stick and holding it over a fire, and for whatever reason, I'm not bothered by it. I gotta cook these so that we can have some milk steak when we get back to camp. Wonder if cooking steak like this hurt Sean's grilling sensibilities. There we go. Plain stringy meat. Go ahead and make some of this. I'm here lamenting the poor pig hung up by his ankles here, and my husband's response is, "You had a Baconator for dinner." Nothing else to make here. Okay. There we go. We made a lot of steak there, so maybe not. All right, let's go see if he's got anything in his house, though. There we go. Carbine repeater. Don't need that. I do need to clean my guns up, though. Nothing in there. Anything else? This guy doesn't have much. This. And vegetables. A harmonica! Oh, Sadie's gonna be real happy about that. If those who don't know what milk steak is, It's maybe not going to be your favorite Google. I don't recommend looking at it before you eat. But sometimes it's what you got to have in these parts. All right, so we got Hosea, we got Bill. Let's go do Billy Midnight, because then I wonder if we could go back to Valentine.
Yeah.
I really do need to go back to like Valentine or Rhodes though and get my gun cleaned up. I don't think we can play the harmonica, but I know that Sadie wants it. Ooh, I'm inclined to shoot this deer. Oh, what a shot.
Slow it up.
What a shot.
Yeah, it won't take long, girl.
Do you not have any gun oil? I don't actually think I do. I think I used what remainder I had. A poor buck pelt. Damn, really? Whatever. You want to get back on the dating scene, milk steak's the way to go. Oh, yeah. There we go. Pearson ought to be able to make some good food out of this.
Got a good hole there, girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Back to camp we go. Kind of gross that you just like run around with like a dead deer on the back of your horse, but we know what else are you gonna do. It's not anything bad, Ellie. It's just, I don't really know. I don't even know that I could do it justice by describing it. You kind of just have to see it. If they don't like milk steak, they're not worth your time. It's true. I mean, whenever people ask me, how do you want your steak? I always say milked. Instead of saying medium or medium well, I say, I'd like my steak milked, please. Milk steak doesn't sound terrible. Well, it's basically steak that gets marinated in milk after it's cooked. It's a real delicacy in Philadelphia. What's going on here, fellas? Look at that guy's hat.
You ain't gonna get nowhere. What the? Why don't you mind your business and keep walking, huh? Don't have to tell me twice.
What are you fellas doing?
We said get lost now.
I want your hat, but all right. What do you think of the Eichel trade? You guys got him for basically nothing. I wouldn't call Alex Tuck nothing, Sammy, but I'm happy about it. I think the Knights now have a bona fide superstar on their team that they can get excited about. I'm pumped about it. I just hope that he recovers from injury well. I just like that Vegas continually tries to make sure they win. Like they're not messing around. I do think it's going to hurt us in the long run at some point, but for now, why not? Does that mean milk steak is a soup? No, I wouldn't call it a soup. You don't leave it in the milk.
Hold up. Who is it?
It's just me, Charles.
do.
All right, what's the matter? Oh, I don't want to do that yet.
Hey, Arthur!
Shut up, Bill. Not interested right now, buddy. I got some shit to do.
Are you okay, Reverend?
I'm sober, if that's what you mean. I've been on quite a tear.
Me and Mary Beth have been so worried about you.
You girls, you have beautiful hearts. Really, you do.
I don't know about that. But we care about you. You seem very sad.
My life took a turn for the worse when I took up with morphine and opium. I was told it would alleviate my suffering, and in many ways, they were correct. It made all my previous suffering just seem ridiculous. Now I had real suffering, and I lost everything: my vocation, my faith, my family. And but for Dutch and you poor people, I would have lost my life long ago.
I'm sorry about that.
So am I. And yet I know in a few days I'll be back at it. Searching for I don't know what in that stuff. I've been such a fool. Tell her, Arthur. Tell her what a fool I've been.
We're all fools, Reverend.
Yeah. I mean, there you go, right? Like, more loathing from the Reverend. And the Reverend is miserable when he's sober. And we talked about this already a long time ago, but there are people who drink to feel things, and there's people who drink to get away from things. And, you know, the poor Reverend is so just immersed in self-loathing and hatred and sadness and everything else that, like, the crash from being sober is miserable. At least when he's drunk, even when he acts a fool, he doesn't have to attend to his thoughts as much. You know, but the problem, again, to reconnect it to the projection conversation we had earlier about him, you know, when Tilly says, basically, you matter, and I want to know more about what's going on, and we're worried about you, if the Reverend doesn't believe that he's somebody worth worrying about, he's going to spin that in a direction where he's not going to see that as genuine care. And that's really, I think, the tragic part about how people get so encapsulated by their self-narratives with stuff like this, is you see that they kind of brush people off. They don't accept help. They have a hard time with people showing that they care because they don't know that they don't see themselves as somebody to be cared about. And so the Reverend's trying to open up. He's got people who are here. They're willing to listen. They're normalizing his experience, saying we all experience this like Arthur did. And the Reverend just doesn't seem interested in that, because the more that people validate it, the more real it is. And the more real it is, the more painful it is. And the more painful it is, the more he has to confront the fact that he hasn't developed effective coping strategies. So he's going to go back to the one coping strategy that makes it all go away, which is to get wasted. And this happens for so many people that struggle with drug abuse and alcoholism. So it's understandable why he turns to these things, but this is why we want to intercept folks and teach them better coping mechanisms, build distress tolerance, because this is the kind of thing that the Reverend could get through, and I think find some fulfillment in his life if he would only give it a chance and learn some of these more effective coping strategies. And that, I believe, would start with him accepting that other people see him differently than he sees himself. That's the first step in my mind. But again, that does not mean that the Reverend is excused from anything he does while he's drunk. If he acts like a complete asshole, if he trashes the camp, if he runs away, he's accountable for that decision. We can empathize with his pain, but hold him accountable to his decisions.
Really, Mr. Bell? You flatter me.
What's the sheriff's costume all about?
There he is, the proud Englishman.
Don't fight other men's battles, boy. And anyway, my family weren't even English.
Oh.
That's right. You'll be able to make something nice with that. Good job, Arthur. Very good. We were getting low. Thank you, Arthur.
Nice. Let's give Sadie this harmonica. I want to hear her just absolutely rip this harmonica.
Here, got hold of a harmonica for you. I look forward to hearing you play it.
The only audience I ever had was my husband, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
Oh, fair enough.
But thank you, Arthur. This is real kind of you.
Ooh, I like her. Ooh, I like her. What a cool thing. Me playing the harmonica is something that I enjoy, but it's also something that bonded me with my husband. And I'm going to continue that bond after my husband's dead by only playing it for me. That to invite all of you in is in some ways to invite in the group that was around when he died, right? So like that's not going to feel particularly great. But I love that boundary. You're never going to hear me play because that's for me and that's for him. Now, if Sadie was to ever get to a point where she wanted to engage in further relationships, I wouldn't say that she absolutely has to play that harmonica for others. But it would potentially be healing for her to learn that she can still play that harmonica and other people can enjoy it, particularly a future partner, and that doesn't mean she's betraying her husband by doing it. A lot of times when people are grieving the loss of somebody that matters to them and they're seeking subsequent relationships, they worry that they're betraying that other person. But the reality of that is, and this is going to sound cold, but it's true, that person's not around anymore. So that sense that you're betraying that person really is just a perception. It's a story that's been created. It's not an absolute truth. And if it would be meaningful to you to engage in something with somebody else because it's something that you enjoy, at some point withholding yourself from doing that is really keeping yourself held down because of a perception, not because that person's actually sitting there saying, don't do this. So, again, I'm not saying that Sadie would need to play the harmonica for anybody else at some point. And if that's a boundary she wants to keep, I totally respect it. But if she got to a point where she starts thinking about it, she starts making decisions not to do certain things because of that memory, and she's distressed by that, that's the kind of conversation we're going to have. All right, let's take a little nap here. What's up, Jack?
Good evening. Hey.
Please, Arthur. So much blood.
Just make sure I don't get DMCA'd by that song, because that would suck. Shared this earlier, but my sister is replaying Red Dead while grieving our grandparents we lost to COVID. They loved Westerns, and it helped her feel close to them while doing something she loves. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Sadie. I'm sorry I missed it the first time you posted it. All right, so we're turning off the volume here a little bit because I don't want to get claimed for that song. I absolutely hate DMCA for that reason. So could you just shut that shit off, Dutch? that I don't have to listen to it. Morning, friends. We're gonna go grab Jenna. We are still bloody. I went to bed in bloody clothes. Morning, Charles.
Good job finding this spot.
You found it too?
I wouldn't have if you hadn't talked me into it.
I want to know whose big ass horse this is. Look at this. Look at this mighty steed. All right. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go get a bath. Although there's not a bathhouse here in Rhodes, which really sucks, man. If there's nowhere for me to get washed. Oh, I guess I could go into the water. All right, let's go down to the lake. We'll go wash off in the lake at least. I don't want to talk to them. Come on, Jenna. Come on.
Yeah.
Wait, Bill's what?
Okay there.
Oh, it's Bill's horse. Okay, I got it. Oh, I asked that earlier. That was why everybody was saying Bill's. Okay, that's Bill's horse. All right, I can take a bath in the natural way. There we go. Get all this blood off of me.
Come on, girl.
All right, let's...
Yeah.
Beautiful. Ain't bloody no more. All right, as we ride to Rhodes, I just want to remind everybody that I appreciate you being here. If you feel so inclined, you can become a member by hitting the join button down below, or if you're on mobile, the link is currently busted, so I'll try to get that fixed. If you are watching the VODs and you have been a person that has either sent a tip or has become a member while I am offline and while you're watching the VOD, I want to let you know that I appreciate you immensely for taking the time to do that. Your financial support of the stream makes a big difference in my ability to put out this content as regularly as I do. So thank you very much for your support in that way. I appreciate it. The tip link is down in the description. And then obviously anybody who throws super chats my way, thank you for doing that. But I'm really glad to have you here tonight. Thank you all for spending the time. I enjoy streaming this game for all of you. And I am grateful that so many of you come out to hang out and be here with me while we play it. $30. Let's pay this off. I'm tired of having a bounty on my head, and I don't want to deal with bounty hunters. $30 is, I think, reasonable. Yo, I'm here. What's up, fellas? Howdy do? I love that everybody turns like, Jesus, dude. Could you just freaking chill and walk in here in a normal way? What's up, Sam?
I recognized you. Hello again.
I'd like to pay my bounty.
Some bills to pay, huh?
I caught some reprobate shambling around my backyard.
There we go.
Hey, you there. A quick word.
What can I do for you, sir?
There's an old gunslinger I'm looking for. I heard he comes through here. Name of Midnight? Billy?
Oh, that old soak? Yeah, he spends days on board these trains, but he's going nowhere but the gutter. I imagine you'll find him right in the next one through here. Either that or the next one. Try them both. Look in the bar car.
Ooh.
Hello there. How's the world been treating you?
Howdy, sir. Ooh, let's find him. Let's find him, chat. Howdy, miss. Hello, sir. You don't much look like him. I love that there's stuff left behind. God, the detailing in this game. Howdy, sir. Alrighty, miss. Alrighty, miss. Don't mind me just looking for somebody who we think might be on this here train. Howdy, sir. Keep it up. Billy Midnight, how are you, sir? Let's refresh our memories real quick, chat. I'm Billy Midnight. Billy Midnight, born William Schnell, the man who killed Rabbit Matthews, little known about Midnight Beth killing. Thought to have been Matthews' rifle cleaner and stable boy, New Calloway then. Overnight sensation, gained national celebrity, speaking tours, then reenactments from St. Louis to St. Denis, San Fran, etc. Received death threats and suffered attempts on his life. Now a recluse, save for regular sightings at Rhodes train station. Ask for him there. All right, let's learn a little about this feller.
Mr. Midnight?
Excuse me, I'm trying to drink.
Mr. Midnight, listen, this won't take a moment. I just want to talk with you about your old days as a shootist.
Get away from me!
Hey!
I didn't shoot him in his sleep!
No one's saying
I didn't shoot him
that.
in his sleep, and if I did, it was the only way!
Not a problem. I'm hearing about Jim Boy Calloway, and no one shot him yet.
I knew you'd come for me! Get away from me!
Holy shit, dude. Where are you gonna go? We're on a train, buddy. What is going on? I'm just trying to ask you some questions.
I knew you'd come for me! It weren't my fault! I knew!
You don't know nothing, Mr. Midnight. I want to talk. Don't do something foolish.
You come for me! Come on!
Oh, ass kicked. Oh, man, he's good. He's a famous gunslinger. I should have been a little more ready for that. Him dropping to his knee was huge. I wasn't ready for him to drop to his knee. Oh, he still got me. Damn. Holy shit, I got no time on this. Oh, man. A real shame we couldn't get a conversation with him. Why can't I store this? It kind of sucks that you can only hold one at a time. Yeah, that gun's better. Absolutely better. Howdy, folks.
Help me.
What's the matter? Oh, is it because of me? Oh, y'all are scared because of me, I see. All right, let's see if I can do this. Come on, Gen 8. Come on, come up here. I want to make the jump. Come on, Gen 8. Come on, girl. Come on, girl.
No, don't do this to me.
Oh, shit.
Won't somebody help?
Oh, this ain't good. This ain't good at all. I gotta go. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! I'm on. Get out of here, Arthur. I hurt myself on that fall. Oh, this is where the chaos starts. Oh, 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 oh. I'm coming, Jenny. We're gonna get out of here. Ooh, don't look at the water. Don't look at the water, boys. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is gonna be so... Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Oh, no. Oh, we just got to keep moving. We just got to keep moving. Eat some beans in the water. Eat some beans, Arthur. Eat some of that salty venison. Oh, my God. Zigzag. Zigzag pattern. Jenny, what are you doing? Don't you go over there, girl. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Okay. Jenny, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Where are you? There she is. Oh, shit, there's a gator. Oh, there's gators. Oh. Oh, this is bad. I hate everything about this. All right, Gen 8, I'm coming. We gotta go. Book it. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Good girl. Good girl. Let's go. Get the hell out of here, girl. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. Let's get... I reckon we go get to the gunsmith here in Rhodes. That's probably going to be safe. Get the hell out of here. $55. Oh, we ain't supposed to be here either. Just keep moving, Arthur. Keep moving. Nothing to see here, folks. Don't mind me. Just a man running through. This was not ideal. I should have jumped off the train a little sooner than that. Thank God my trusty girl was with me. I just paid my bounty, though, man. Come on. Cannot use weapons or cause trouble in roads. Sure can't. Let's go. Let's hitch up here. Get my gun's cleaned up. Oh, you again. You're back. You again.
You've got a fine weapon, but I can
Clean that up for me. Okay.
I can rifle the barrel for you if you'd like.
Give me some improved iron sights. Yes, indeed. I like that. I don't need a scope on it. I'm fine with the way the wood is. We'll get ourselves a nice leather wrap. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, $9 though? That's a little steep for me, partner. Approved rifling? Yes, indeed. Okay.
Listen, you won't take all day, will
This is
you?
my gun of choice here. For sure.
That
Metals.
could really shine with some carbon in it.
Black and steel. Gold. I'm not into the gold. I actually really like the black and steel. We're going to keep it at that. The frame, I don't know that I like the gold, though. Let's go. I like the blue. Blue steel. 5. Alright. The hammer.
You're gonna buy something, right?
I ain't interested in that. Some varnish. Stock. Ooh, let's go ebony. Want something darker. Dark walnut. Ooh. Bright maple. That's pretty. Go with that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wait, carvings?
Interested in engraving some? Make that weapon your own.
Ooh. Ooh, the bear. Yes, sir. 16 bucks? Yes, sir. Oh. Lovely. Some ammunition.
Make sure you got enough rounds for it.
Okay. Beautiful. I don't know that I much need any. Well, let's take a look at this guy.
That gun seems to be
Components
well
on
taken care
this.
of.
We got a wrap.
Got some nice parts for that gun, you know.
This seems like it would be nice to have a wrap on. Yeah. Iron sights. Improved iron sights.
That'll
Yeah.
help, I'm sure.
Barrel's fine. Stock's fine. Let's change the color of the wrap.
That could really shine with some carbon in it.
I reckon I do enjoy the chocolate. Ooh, that's good. Yo, Jay, what's up, bud? Thank you for the $20. Doc, how the heck are you, you old bird dog? Jay, thank you so much. I appreciate the 20 spot, my man. Hey, chat, this is a perfect opportunity for me to inform you of Dauntless Snacks. You can put exclamation point Dauntless in chat, or you could go to that link in chat. Dauntless Snacks are wonderfully delicious meat sticks. It's a company owned by Jay Knight. He works his ass off. He's a veteran. He has partnered with me and some other streamers to sell his wonderful meat sticks, which are absolutely fabulous. There's a Kickstarter for the jalapeno flavor. The jalapeno meat stick actually has bits of jalapeno in it. It's legitimately amazing. The referral link that's in chat, you can click on that. You can contribute to the Kickstarter. It also helps my stream. Or if you want just the normal sticks, you can go to their website by putting exclamation point Dauntless in my chat. You click the link, use code YouMatter as the promo code. You'll get 10% off your order, and you support the stream. 25% funded on the Kickstarter. Good for you, Jay. That's awesome, man. Super excited about that. But Dauntless Snacks are fabulous. I don't partner with many brands, and Dauntless is absolutely one that I eat them all the time. Literally all the time. They're amazing. In fact, I'm going to eat one right now.
I need some help. I'm running out, Rhodes. Get him right here.
Right here, baby. It's literally like 5 ingredients. It's awesome. 100% beef, sea salt, citric acid, celery juice powder, black pepper, garlic powder. And that's it. That's it. That guy was very surprisingly chill with selling his stuff, given that we busted him for what he was doing with that guy who was replacing his son. Chad, I'm kind of thinking it's maybe time that we change my shirt.
Lost a goddamn war. Lost my sweetheart, cholera, and my leg of a goddamn cannonball. Ain't no fun.
Hello, sir. New in town?
Howdy.
Canyon's in the middle there, next to the cute little dollies and what's left of my self-respect. I have a catalog, too, up here.
Hmm. I don't know that I need to sell any of this.
Okay.
Let's check the catalog. All right, we're gonna read the catalog.
Oh, that's the whole range.
Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. The clothing department. All right, I'm thinking maybe we take a look at some shirts. Well, actually, no. You know, perhaps a vest. The vest department. Our line of men's fancy vests is unabridged, unmatched, and very complete. Other houses may claim to have an unabbreviated and complete line of fancy vests. However, it is well known that their vests are far from fancy and, frankly, the drab sort of attire that a supplicant should adorn. Our line includes both fancy single and fancy double-breasted white and colored duck vests that create such an air strangers will extemporaneously sputter, "My lord, that is fancy. What a fancy vest." You will no doubt coyly run your hands down the sides of your chest and respond with an air of indifferent amusement. "Why, yes, I suppose it is." And continue on walking, knowing full well that you are of exceptional, remarkable lineage. We feature vests in very knobby striped duck, fancy fly front, corduroy, basket weave, and neat single-breasted fancy polka dot models. European dance craze of the polka swept the United States nearly 60 years ago, having originated in Bohemia, where buxom maidens wander the countryside, handing out pretzels and yodeling. And the residents are absolutely infatuated with dots. Our polka dot selection is unrivaled, and by wearing one of our fancy vests, you instantly communicate that you are likely past your time imbibing ale and playing the accordion. We offer these at the cost of the material and sewing, adding only a meager 1% of profit. For only a fool throws a penny into a wishing well, then is instantly overcome with anguish, melancholy, and heartbreak that he has squandered his wealth and wishing to take it all back. Wishing to go back in time and say to her by the bedside on one knee as she's ravaged by polio and typhoid, "I love you forever, my dear, and I acquired this fancy vest from Wheeler and Rawson so that your dying moments you can look upon me in my handsome splendor." It's so good. Literally my favorite part of the game. Let's take a look at the traditional vest. A no lapel traditional vest with flat hem featuring a slanted two-pocket front and satin back made from a heavyweight Union cashmere. You will find no higher quality anywhere. Take a look. Ooh. Ooh. I'm actually feeling this. I'm absolutely feeling this. I kind of like this one.
Okay.
Let's do it. I didn't even need to look at the other ones. Opulent vest? Nah, no. A little too gaudy for me.
You can't go wrong here.
Too gaudy for me.
You own the place.
Parisian vest? No. We must blow our own horn or nobody will hear it. Those that still shop retail are deaf to the magic that fills these pages. Yes, I would agree. Feeling pretty good about the other stuff. I don't know that we need to do much accessorizing, although I suppose... Do we have suspenders? Nah. I think I'm already wearing some. Ooh, what do we have? Tanned half chaps. Well, I'm wearing full chaps right now, I think, so I don't know that I'm interested in that. We've got Spurs, but let's take a look at Western Rider Spurs, Gurdon Deluxe Spurs. Ooh.
See that statue outside? The one to
Western Deluxe. I don't know. I got my Spurs already. I feel all right about them.
in here, you know.
No. Not interested in that.
You want one of those little dolls, don't you?
The Earl, huh? We furnish many styles of clothing with few reaching the dapper, fine cut, and clean look of this noble ensemble. Inspired by the businessmen of Rhodes and the deep family traditions that exist there, the long shotgun coat is ornamented with shiny silver buttons. The fancy patterned bosom of the French dress shirt is matched by the fancy pants of brown preacher's pride boots, topped off by a rolled derby hat. It is one of our finer outfits, and 75,000 of them have sold without a just complaint. Most complaints we receive are preposterous, so much so that we laugh upon reading them and toss them promptly in the bin. This is clothing for a man of stature and grace who understands the quite strict rules of chaperonage, never over imbibing and pounding madly at her chamber door, pleading that her eyes had surely deceived her, for he was only attempting to revive her dear, loving sister who had fainted in the drawing room, ceased breathing, and reacquired resuscitation. She should be grateful he had saved her sister's life rather than focus on perceived improprieties and the fitness of her sister's evening costume, for it was her corset that was to blame for her near catastrophe, which thankfully he bravely averted. Somebody's got a personal problem going there. Can't say I'm into that look. Not feeling that. Chevalier, though. That's sexy. Gotta improve your honor to unlock that item, huh? They're not just gonna sell it to me. The Gambler. Ooh.
It's all good. All of it.
All right. We got ourselves a vest, chat.
And that should be good.
We look mighty dapper.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see if we can get ourselves a new newspaper. Nope. No new newspaper.
Hey, fellas.
Hey. How do you do, sir?
I'm running out, Rhodes. Get him right here.
It looks to me like there's some sort of question mark going on here. What's all this about? I got another bounty I got to pay off too at the train station. Maybe I should do that. Do that first. What up, fellas? I love it. I love it. Oh, God.
How's your luck?
No complaining from me.
That's good.
Howdy, mister.
Hello.
What's going on here, sir?
You can't assign.
Well, look at you.
What you want?
Howdy, feller.
You okay?
Do I look okay?
No. You look awful.
Awful. Look at me. Useless. I wasn't born to this. I didn't deserve this. I used to be a gentleman. Jeremiah Thompson. Thompson's stead.
Good for you, if that's anything to boast about.
They took everything from me.
Who did?
They.
And what did they take?
My whole life. A whole way of living, a career.
I stole a lot of things, but that's quite a lot to steal.
Look at me here, living in the shit and in the mud.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
My old house. The house my grandfather built. It's all dilapidated and destroyed, repossessed by the bank.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I I was supposed to live a different life.
Me too.
If only I could get my old things back. Personal mementos, a watch, old pistol, my ledger.
Where's this house again?
Thompson Stead, north of Scarlet Meadows. Bank says I can't go near it. I'm living rough over by Harris Field.
Well, if I'm ever out that way, I'll see what I can do.
Time is hell.
Interesting.
You and me, we understand each other.
Come on, Gen 8. I want to know a little bit more. Oh, did that guy already leave? Oh, he walked away. Okay. Let's go to this guy's house then. Let's see what's going on. I like this vest, chat. I like this vest. What's up, Ica? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, and also, chat, a reminder, please don't even say things like, oh, this mission, this one's great, or this one sucks, or stuff like that. That counts as spoilers. You can provide your opinions on things that have already happened, but please do not post opinions on things that have not happened. Let's go. How far we got to ride here? How far are we going? Oh, not far at all. Jeremiah Thompson. Break into Jeremiah Thompson's house and recover his possessions. All right. I like my goatee. It's grown on me.
Let's show them how free men...
You assholes. Way too many of these guys, man. Oh, what a shot. That's the best shot I've ever hit. I cannot believe I hit that shot. I'm a little sad I shot this horse, though. Didn't mean to. Yo, man, these guys are packing a ton of money. Alright. Come on, Jenny. Gotta go. We got a house to get to. Also, I'm surprised we can't cut up the horse. I mean, you'd think that that would be good eating. A little lean, but kind of sucks to just leave a horse dead in the street like that. Oh, I should also eat something. I need to... Where's some of that food I made earlier? Premium cigarette, cigar, plain flaky fish, plain game. There we go. Oh, yeah. Delicious.
Yeah.
I know you could skin them in the first one. I'm surprised you can't do it in this one. There it is. All right. Let's take it nice and slow.
Slow up now. Easy.
Well, this house is... I mean, why would this guy be afraid to get stuff out of this house? It doesn't even look like it's being monitored. I don't know why it would be. There's nothing here. All dilapidated. Search the house for Thompson's watch, pistol, and ledger. I really hope we can snoop the ledger. What does this say? Inspect.
By order of Judge Meredith Holden in the courts of the state of Lemoyne, we do hereby grant repossession of this property and all items herein to the Bank of Roads. M. Holden, Judge Holden, Henrietta Blackley, Clerk, November 18th, 1895.
All right. Well. Kick it down, Arthur. No? We're going to have to do this the hard way? Go in the back? I'm intrigued by this home. Around the back side.
Ledger, watch, pistol.
Old Blood Eyes, Kentucky bourbon.
Thanks indeed for your talk to our Sunday school class. Thought you might like this drawing young Josh did of you. He wants to grow up to be just like you. Sam.
Whoa, that's cool that it's being read by the guy. Ooh, that's a creepy picture.
June 7th, 1855. Dear Sir, please accept this likeness of your family as a small token of appreciation for your assistance in the recovery of my property. Like your old pa, you're a cunning old dog and a credit to this community. Yours, Colonel Joshua Nixon, the Ascension Plantation.
It's all meaningless stuff to us, but I gotta imagine this means quite a bit to this guy. Wow, this house is trashed. Holy crap. What we got here?
April 2nd, 1870. Dear Mr. Thompson, I'm afraid there's no more work for you down here at the plantation. I'm grateful for the help you've given us and the help your pappy and your pappy's pappy gave us before you. These are trying times for all of us. You are in our thoughts and prayers. Yours truly, Colonel J. Nixon, the Ascension Plantation.
So these people lost. I mean, well, I'm not going to give a hypothesis just yet. All right, there's a pocket watch.
That's the old watch. Now the ledger and the pistol.
Obviously, these folks lost a lot. I do know that once they started having to pay people for labor, that caused a lot of problems for folks. That doesn't make slavery right. Could be anything, though. All right, what's this? Another letter.
Dear Jeremiah, There ain't nothing here of any value. I wouldn't give you a nickel for it. Come by for a sup of whiskey anytime. Bill. Yes. I was sorry to hear of Betsy's passing. Things is easier up there for sure.
Okay, where is all this old crap? A trap door, huh?
What you doing here? We found this place first.
Yeah. Easy. I'm just looking around for some things. That old revolver yours?
Finders keepers. Ah! Son of a bitch!
Oh, God damn it! Come on, Dan!
Where are you going? Come on! Son of a bitch! Ah!
Holy shit. Nothing. And y'all didn't have to come attack me. I would have had I wouldn't have done anything to you.
Dear Mr. Thompson, after numerous complaints from customers and fellow employees alike, we must terminate your employment. There's just no place for a man like you at the Central Union Railroad Company.
Letter of termination. And these guys lost everything, huh?
Pa, God damn it. Told you to stay away from the boy. He don't want this. Heck, none of us want nothing to do with you. Rance.
Pistol. Just the ledger now.
Can I go upstairs? I kind of want to go upstairs. Oh, the stairs are busted. Okay. We got to open the trapdoor, and this guy's on it. Well, this trapdoor is not exactly hidden, so the picture makes a little more sense given that this is, like, blatantly here. All right. Arthur's taking the letters, yeah.
Well, that's that. I was somewhere near Rhodes when they caught me. Till the day I die, I ain't gonna forget the sound of that dog barking in my heels. But I don't suppose that day gonna be far off yet. It was 50 lashings yesterday and 50 more to come. I don't think I can take any more. Man said he was doing his job. Funny kind of employment if you ask me, but I suppose you ain't. Light's fading, so that's it for now. I do hope I live to see the end of this war and justice win out. Ugh. June 64.
God. This your ledger? A list of slaves?
Rewards. January 15th, Betsy, $17. January 18th, Louise, $12. May 18th, Wilfred, $18. May 24th, Minnie and Child, $20.
Oof. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. Again, I mean, we're in the South. That's not an excuse for it. It's an explanation. It's a lot of plantations in the South lost a lot when they couldn't use slaves anymore. But this guy's a slave catcher. Yeah, there you go, Cavoozle. Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know that I'd call that noble work. Yikes. Now I wonder though, I mean, I don't know. Interesting to see what he says about it if we get a chance to ask him. It was probably gainful employment until it didn't matter anymore. So they lost their plantation. This guy was making a lot of money catching slaves for folks. And they were paying good money to do it. And now that catching slaves ain't lucrative. If that was your skill, you ain't gonna do it. Like, you're not gonna know what to do. Yeah, I mean, slave catchers would go run after. Basically, it was like bounty hunting for slaves. You get the slaves, you bring them back to the plantation, you get a lot of money for it. And that's what that ledger is. Isn't this the barn that we were hiding in that was up in fire? Yeah, it is. That's interesting that we're... I want to know what this guy has to say about this. But first... go to a place to rest in the wilderness. Okay. It's an awful noise. Pretty sure it implied that he was fired from the railway company for beating the workers. Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yep.
It's all that guy knows, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it okay. Oh, he's not far from here. I do want to get out. I do want to get out to the woods, though. I want to meet with him during the day. Turn the items to Thompson. Yeah, I'll do that. But let's see if we can set up camp. I want to do it daytime. All right, fine. Whatever.
Okay then, girl.
Fine, game. Oh, it's morning anyway. Maybe?
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's morning. No matter. What's up, Rage Gamer? Oh, it's been a little more tame than the last episode, but we've had some moments. Alright, here we go. It's fine. It's morning anyway.
There we go.
Alright, let's see what he has to say. I'm real curious.
Forgot about us. Just when they needed us, they threw us away like shit on their boot. Times wasn't perfect. I ain't saying that. It's just... It's all going to hell. Rack and ruin. Rack and damn ruin.
And I don't feel totally bad for him. He ruined a lot of people's lives.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. You show some respect. I was respected once. I had a profession.
You asked me to get you something.
There's no bringing back what I want. I want my job, my pride, the respect accorded to a gentleman.
What about this old crap? Huh?
My things. Don't you understand? Those bastards, they changed everything. I was a good worker. I took pride in my work. They took it away. Pissed on my legacy.
Old man, some jobs ain't for saving. And some legacies,
Oh,
they are for pissing
what
on.
are you doing? That's my history. Ah! Damn you! Damn you! I still exist. Oh.
So I want to make a separation here that I think is very important for all of us to understand. You can empathize with his pain. And if we put ourselves in this guy's shoes, if we truly want to live by an empathic standard, we can connect with the fact that this guy lost his purpose. You don't have to think about what the purpose is yet. This man had an identity. He had pride. He had something to hook himself into. And that was, as he perceives it, taken from him. And that is painful. I think if any of us, if I had this stream and I had my profession and I had my wife and I had my home taken away from me, that would hurt. Even if what I was doing wasn't good, that would hurt because there's real connection there. So the connection and empathy with him, though, creates a dissonant experience with us because we have different values. So though we can connect with his pain, it's very hard to connect with what he did, which is catch slaves, bring them back, and ruin lives. So that dissonance we experience is very hard for us to square up. However, one of the ways that you make systemic change happen is to start with individuals. This man could have used probably some empathy back when it was time for him to find something else to do. If somebody in his life or some people in his life could have said, yeah, man, it sucks. I know you've dedicated your life to this, but this ain't the right way. We can't do it anymore. We can make a better decision about how you can find purpose with the new world we live in. So let's figure that out. And let's maybe reconsider what we were doing. And maybe with time, if this man finds purpose elsewhere and learns how to manifest that into some good self-esteem, maybe he can hold himself accountable to his past actions and hold others accountable for the same and look back on it and go, you know what? I can take pride in the fact that I had purpose, but I can also say, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the best way. And maybe I can help others realize that. Maybe we can push this thing forward. Right? So this is the power of empathy. If we write people like this off, if we throw them into a box and say, this guy is irredeemable, piece of shit, slave driving asshole, then that doesn't give us the opportunity to connect with him and maybe help do better. And maybe that spreads out and has a ripple effect. This is why I don't believe in writing people off. This guy needs the opportunity to talk about what he did. I don't want him to do it again. What this led to was him taking this anger out on people in his railroad job. This led to him making poor choices down the line because nobody was ever there to listen to him and understand what was going on for him and help him do something differently. If we write people off, this is what happens. It throws them into pigeonholes. People don't just automatically change their mind because they've been cast out and because they've lost their purpose, because it's no longer allowed to be here. That doesn't help. All that does is force people like him to find other people like him, and they continue to behave badly and think everybody's out to get them instead of being reintegrated in. So we can connect with his pain, and we can also say, don't agree with what you did. I think Arthur handles this about as well as he could. Right? The guy says, you're throwing my history on that fire. It's true. And this guy, and by the way, here's the other thing about this, chat, that we have to really take into account here. You really want to do a deeper dive here. When people live their life making decisions that hurt others, whether they're able to justify it to themselves or not, this man did that for a long time. A long time. As we've talked about many times over, the older you get, the more rigid your brain gets, and the harder it is to accommodate to a progressing world. So even if this guy took a second to reconsider in a new frame that what he had built his entire sense of self around was bad and harmful, his brain is being forced to accommodate in a way that it may not be prepared to. It may be immensely painful. Imagine that, chat. Imagine if something in your life that you spent 30 years doing, we reached a point where we looked back on it with hindsight and we're like, that was not great. You would, as all of us would, tend to immediately go to justifying that and trying to explain the individual reasons why you did that. Because that's what we do. And we can acknowledge that it was a choice made with those factors in mind. And we can also acknowledge that, yeah, maybe it wasn't great. Maybe what we did was harmful. Maybe what I did didn't contribute to a more healthy society. Ooh, but I can't change that, but maybe I can try to do better going forward. But I can't change that, and maybe we can do better going forward doesn't happen if we don't meet people at their experience. If we force people to polarize into their experience and their justifications, we are actually creating chasms, and we're forcing people to regress as opposed to helping them move forward. And it's the responsibility of a man like Arthur to do this, by the way. It's not the responsibility of former slaves. It's not the responsibility of black folks in Rhodes. It's the responsibility of people like Arthur to hold this man accountable for that and to help him through that process. Because it could be dangerous for black folks to do that. Probably is, especially at this time. All right, so there's a we can connect with people while still holding them accountable to their decisions. Right? If you blindly forgive this guy and say all is right, exactly, Shelbs. If you say all is good, it's fine, at least you're not doing it anymore, that's not great either, right? We don't want to enable people through empathy. But empathy and accountability, they can come along at the same time. And this is a beautiful illustration of that. Right? It makes us feel yucky. All of us make decisions at certain points in our life that affect others maybe in a way that we don't want to have happen to varying degrees. And one of the things that all of us tend to want is for people to take accountability for our actions. But that also means that we have to do it. We have to listen to people and how we're impacted. Like there's a whole concept of intention versus impact that we talk about all the time in the therapy world and help people with in relationships. Impact is a stronger force than intention. You could intend things to go really well, and if it hurts somebody, you have to attend to the impact. And a lot of times people will fall back on their intentions to try to dissuade folks off of the impact instead of just owning the impact you had. We can say, here was my intention, but I acknowledge that it hurt you. I did not mean to make you feel terrible. I did not mean to harm you, but I did, and I am accountable and responsible for that. That's a skill. That's not something that people just easily do. That's something you have to intentionally push yourself to do, and you will find that people will respect you for it if you do. Oftentimes, it's people scrambling, trying to defer accountability that actually makes them look worse than if you just take ownership for it. It's amazing how empathic people can be when people are self-reflective. Exactly, Celestial, right? Like, as far as this guy knew, slavery was fine. You have to remember, we're using hindsight and sensibilities on this. I'm not justifying slavery, but people were propagandized into looking at black folks and slaves at that time as less than human. Black folks were looked at as a subordinate species. People who were respected in the academic world at that time were putting out the bullshit about, I always forget what it's called, about like skull size and shit. And they were trying to make that a whole justification for why black folks were less than white folks. Like, if you're a person who's not educated in any way, shape, or form, doesn't have the benefit of all the years of knowledge that we've built on this stuff, you're going to think that that's perfectly okay. In the same way that we have horses drawing carriages. Legitimately, at that time, people would put that into the same cognitive box. Chronology, thank you. That a slave picking cotton in the field is no different than the mule that pulls the cart. So then when you're told by other groups, no, man, these are people, that's a reversal on so much of what you learned. And now you have to confront what was pushed into you, which also means holding accountable people that were part of your formative relationships. Oh my God, how could my parents have convinced me that slaves are less than human? Right? Now all of a sudden you have to have all these icky experiences with people that you care deeply about because maybe, just maybe, they were making bad decisions. So you do have to put yourself in the context here to fully understand what's going on, and it helps us connect with this guy's pain. It does not justify his actions, but it helps us do better, and it helps us help him do better as a result. And this is why we try really hard not to write people off. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to remove yourself from certain relationships. It is totally okay for you to say, that is a person I have no interest in associating with. That is perfectly healthy to do. I am an advocate for boundaries, right? But on the whole, somewhere, somehow, this guy has got to find somebody who can empathize with his experience and help him do better. Because the cards are stacked against him in order for him to do that himself. What a really cool side mission. I really love that Rockstar put this in the game. I can be empathic while not being sympathetic to him. I am not sympathetic to him at all. But I can empathize with the pain. You touch on how personal biases can impact how tough it can feel to override that, how it creates a bit of a filter. Yeah, I mean, all of us use a little bit of inductive reasoning with how we make sense of stuff. We are all biased in some directions, and one of our primary biases is our own experience. So many of us try to use our own experiences to make generalizations about concepts and others, and it's very dangerous to do that. So, you know, an example would be if, like, this guy was like, well, you know, I was only doing my job and I was well-intentioned and I treated the slaves well when I brought them back to the plantation. And they go, so all slave catchers are just good people trying to make a living. That is a false equivalency. That is your bias using inductive reasoning to make sense of a trade in this case. Where in reality, we have to look at this in context, which is, okay, maybe you treated them well. That doesn't mean that others did. There may be people who were slave catchers because they were on a power trip and wanted to cause harm, and because they got paid good money for it. That is another explanation. So we have to acknowledge our biases so that we can engage in more formal operational thought in the form of deductive reasoning, where we don't just take our own personal experience to understand things, but we also take knowledge that's been built up through academic means and through wisdom, the accumulation of experience, through listening to what other people have to say, through critiquing our own experience. That's the kind of stuff that helps us take multiple things to create a more accurate explanation and hopefully get closer to the truth about a concept itself. So if anybody watching this, if you're a person that tends to use your own personal experience to make sense of everything around you, you are limited in the way that you are understanding the world. And you would do well to listen to what other people have to say and acknowledge the both ands in life. Because life is far more complex than the black and white box our brain wants to put it in. And I want to get off this bridge because if I get hit by a train, I ain't going to be happy. Where am I? Even. Oh, this is not the direction. I want to go back to camp.
Easy, whoa.
There we go.
Whoa. Steady. Easy, fella. What cargo you bring through here?
Easy there.
We just looking.
Give you supplies from the federal building.
Son of a bitch. Oh my God. Come on, Ryan. There we go. Alright, that guy was able to get away. I feel alright about that. I ain't much a fan of the Lemoyne Raiders. It's a good realization to have, Perry.
Whole lot of ugly business here. Damn hellfire.
What? Animal cruelty? Come on, kiss my ass. Dude, I saved that guy from getting robbed. Unless we're calling the Lemoyne Raiders animals, which would kind of crack me up if they did that. If you killing the Lemoyne Raiders was animal cruelty, that'd be a nice touch. We're just gonna lay low over here. I gotta start putting my masks on when I do stuff like that. I keep forgetting to do that, and that would be the smart course of action. Alright, let's go right up here. Let's go over here. We done fine. Ladies left a reward for you at your tent. Ooh. Alright. Alright. What do you got for me, Sadie? Is it the gun oil? Oh, it's the gun oil. Okay. Well, I already have that. All right. What a beautiful morning. What a great place to pick up tomorrow. Hey, before you leave, if you're watching the VOD, please make sure that you like the video. If you enjoyed this tonight, leave me a comment if you want to say something about any of the parts that we talked about today. I love reading the comments on the video. Thank you for watching the video. We'll get part 14 coming up soon. Make sure you follow me on all the socials down in the description. Again, those of you that become members, send tips. Thank you very much for that.